Right, this is the Pawl part. Oh, as you see, I've got like a wavy line there. That's to act as a spring, because I found that one, if I have, let's show you the other one, like a straight line like this. This acts as a spring, yeah, but it's a bit, see how that's denting down there. It's stopping down, it's not springing back up, and there seems to be quite a bit of a strain put on the plastic. I'm only using PLA here. I don't have PLA, obviously other plastics might be better. So there's like, that's like the Pawl push plate on the back. There's a spring goes in there, metal spring, to push it forward. I can put this one on, so I'll show you the other side. It takes quite a bit digging out because it does need supports on. Well, yeah. So a bit rough on that side. Don't know if you can see inside there. A bit hard to see. There we are. That's probably better. So to dig it out, well, almost to get the spots out, I use these long nose pliers, grabbing in here. That's why it's got these two gaps on the side, so that you can get in. I also use a screwdriver, small bladed screwdriver. Use a couple of different sizes of these actually, to like dig out a bit and such like. This hole is for the push knob, this sort of push knob here, Pawl push knob, so that you can pull it back. So the idea here is when you pull it back, it latches in this hole here. See, here's one without this like spring thing on. I haven't put this in yet to test it. I'm showing you that before I put it together. Then you can press this button. See, that's a bit stiff, and then it's, when it is pressed, there's no spring on this, like to push it forward, but when it is pressed, it's rubbing against the top part up here, and it's causing too much friction to go all the way, well, forward easily, shall I say. A stronger spring will probably do it. There, metal spring. But then you pull it back on there. That's because what I found is when this is like spinning, there's so much kinetic energy in it that if this slips forward, this Pawl, if you let go and it slipped forward while it was spinning, it would break this tooth off, or break the teeth off on the ratchet mechanism that goes into here. Okay, so I've had a few iterations of this, trying different ideas, just this Pawl that is. I've had quite a few iterations of the whole thing, but of this Pawl, so it's a bit rough. I've just done it quick really, a bit of filing down if you wanted, particularly on this edge here where the button goes, or there's a slot in the button so that doesn't twist. And that whole one's drilled a 2.543mm bolt. So there's a look around that. I'll put this in and we'll see how well what sort of works, if at all. So I'll just show you that it does press and it seems to spring back quite well. In a way, this is like having a longer piece of plastic along here. I'll show you that. Show you. So there's a Pawl part there. Sort of thing. That's for the button to go onto this end. And that's for like a release, latching release button. Yep. It's a bit stiff. Could possibly make this a bit thinner, this plastic here, but I have to be careful how thin I make it. I think that's about Got to think of when it's actually in the unit, how easy it's going to be to press. I think that might be just about okay. So it's like a concertina spring. Okay, let's get this into here and we'll have a look and see if it works at all. So I'm just taking this other one apart, and you might be able to make out the stress on on the sort of part that's supposed to bend there. See how that stopped down, doesn't sprung back up, because this is almost stressed out and damaged the PLA in this case. So I'm just taking this off now to put the concertina type 1 on. I will put this one on instead and we'll see if that works better. Because as I say, this button also pushes against the top part and it's causing friction for when it's going forward. So I'm hoping that this will ease that off as well. So I'll just show you the button. Here's the button. See, it has a indent in that side, so that will fit on, where is it, this side, fit down there, and the button won't like twist or turn. So it does have a bump on, that's just to help you grip it. Okay, 3mm balls, just a short, I think this is a 15mm long Allen button head I use. I think they're generally the best for stuff like this. Okay, I'll get this put together. Well, I've just sort of prototyping, testing, and doing what you call it, and I think this button is about 3mm too high, because even if I press it down, but even if I press it all the way that I can, which is about there, it might go a bit lower, it's still almost level with the top there. I'm trying to do this one-handed, almost type thing, holding the camera in one hand. I can't really show you that, I don't think, but take my word for it. That is level with the top. I mean, apart from that, it's not too bad, I don't think. I was thinking of making this spring a little bit thinner. Some of the coils, if you like, a bit thinner. Some of those coils there, just that little bit thinner. Not a lot. I mean, I think it works okay. See that all the coils in a way are moving. Each coil is moving a little bit. So it's not like putting a big strain on one area. So that, to me, that looks like successful in that instant. I'll have a think about this. I don't know if I don't want to make this too thin because it will still break. I think a little bit thinner, these coils on here. Well, that's another iteration of this model diesel engine starter. So the idea is you wind it up and it springs back and starts the model diesel engine. So this is the before one. I've made this spring here a bit thinner. You might notice a slight difference there. And I made this short, like not so high, so that doesn't have to be pressed so much. I mean, that's quite strong, that spring, can feel it, and I can easily squeeze it quite a bit easier to squeeze this one. See, only change really, I still have to drill out this hole to 2.543mm bolt button head. I'll do that and I'll pop it in the unit and we'll see if that's any better. Right, I made a change to this like push spring part. This is for the spring to go in. There's like a hole and a bit of a peg in a way to help stop the spring moving. Now when you've cleaned this out, it takes a bit cleaning out. I use some long nose pliers and a screwdriver. That's why it has these holes in the side here, so you can get in there under the spring if need be. Yep, that's, I don't know why it's printed it with a hole, almost a hole in there, as if it's a missed out part. I don't know why it's done that. Not the best print of my printer, but see, it does not too bad. So after doing that, I super glued, well, would super glue that on there. This is PLA. If you're using PLA, if you're using ABS, some little bit of acetone, and that holds that on there. Actually the spring will hold it on there, I think, so you might even need glue, but there's enough clearance for the button to press. That in there, and as I say, there's another hole in here with a peg on. I've stretched this spring. I'm not sure the size of that spring actually, should measure it, but it's just a spring I had made about. Yep, that's in there, and then slide it back, let me put the top on, at least hold it on. That'll be easier. Actually I'll put some bolts in here. Okay, I've bolted them together. That could probably do a bit more tightening. This could do a bit more tightening, but it's just to like test it. That's just a thing to pull it back on when you want it to start. So see, the pawl is pulled back out the way so that can start, and to release it just press the button, springs forward and latches on the pawl. But that should be enough. That's one thing I have to test, that it's not going to, so it is sticking a bit there. That's one idea of this like curvy spring, so it wouldn't put too much like pressure on here as well. Just enough to spring up. So I'll have to maybe look at that. Yeah. Because this wants to be able to move backwards and forwards as it goes over, like the ratchet mechanism that turns around in here. Now the idea of this was that originally you would pull it back, and then you could, as it was turning, you could let go of this, and this would spring forward as it is now because it's on that spring, and the ratchet would bang against the pawl here, and it would either break the pawl off or break the teeth off on the ratchet. I think that was even at 100% if I remember right. This is PLA. But now when you pull it back, it'll latch there out the way until you're ready, till it's unwound, and then you can release it. I mean, that works okay, apart from when, obviously when this is bumping round on the ratchet mechanism that goes in here, it's sticking a bit like there, and see, that's sticking up and it's not coming out. A stronger spring would sort that out, but I think I'll change this front plate a bit. I'll have a think about this, but that's okay up to now. Yep, I'm happy with that. That's an improvement. You see, that's pretty well locked there. I can even push this button forward and it's not going forward until I press the button. So that spring is certainly better than the other sort of spring mechanism I had. So the other spring mechanism, just to show you, was just like this, just like a, see, this has been super glued on here, this plate. Right? Yes, it has. I'll change this plate a bit to be a bit stronger as well, this, like where the spring goes in and pushes against it. That plate, so that was the original like lever mechanism, and I found that this could strain, and obviously after some time it would crack. Also the spring was a bit strong on that. So that was the original. Yeah, I've made this push plate there a little bit stronger. So you wind it up, that is the theory. Pull it back, starts up, then once it's started, the model diesel engine, you click the button and it goes back ready for the next wind up. Obviously some oil on that would probably benefit, but I think I'll redesign this slightly. Anyway, I'm going to start waffling on a bit now, I think. When I printed this out, I did get some PLA heated bed and a Elmer's glue stick on the bed, and it's still curled. Okay,